Welcome to the Capital Spreads Weekly Look Ahead. Today is Tuesday, the 15th of January 2012. We've had a mixed start to the week. The FTSE really does seem to be in a bit of a consolidation phase at the moment. It's at 6110, still just about holding on to the 6100 level. The Dow, which started yesterday negatively after some news from Apple, bad news from Apple, pushed US markets a little bit lower. Just the futures that seem to have recovered, and the session did end up in the black in the end yesterday. So Dow's at 13,490, euro dollar 133.50, cable 160.60. For gold, that too has oscillated sideways really, 1680, and Brent is at 111.90. So yesterday, really, things got off to a pretty slow start, and actually it has been quite a slow week so far. Yesterday, really, the highlight was that Apple news, slowing orders. That's affected ARM Holdings' share price today, which is lower. But also we did see EU industrial production decline as well. So really sort of relatively bearish undertones to the start of this week, a bit of a consolidation phase as mentioned. And clients continue to be overall really quite bearish of the indices, expecting a bit more of a retracement at some point soon. So today really has been highlighted by some interesting figures on house prices in the UK. In real terms, house prices have fallen over 70%, sorry, that's the Northern Ireland number, over 20% across the UK. Northern Ireland, over 70% decline in real terms for house prices, a very dramatic fall. Even London, in house prices there in real terms have fallen by 10%. So very interesting figures for house prices across the UK. We've also had inflationary data today that came in line year on year, remained around 2.7%. Of course, you've got the two opposing forces there: lower petrol prices and generally falling prices, heavy discounting on the high street, against rising utility bills and rising food prices. So inflation in the UK remaining around the same at 2.7% year on year. Later on this afternoon we get US retail sales and producer prices as well. Tomorrow we get more inflationary data from the US, the consumer price index from the US, as well as industrial productions, and then really things remain relatively quiet for Thursday. We get US housing starts and then the Philly Fed. And then I suppose we probably end off the week with a bit of a flurry of activity. In particular, the focus is going to be very much on China, the world's second biggest economy. We get much expected GDP data, industrial production, retail sales as well. The GDP could possibly rise to as much as 8%. We've seen a bit of a pickup in China in recent months. Things really looking a little bit better there. Their property market seems to stabilise. They're continuing to invest in infrastructure, and of course there is stimulus there. So that could be the sort of news that the market might be waiting for to push us on the next leg higher, but we'll have to wait and see. We also get on Friday UK retail sales, and finish off the week with the US Michigan Conference. But another thing that also to focus on this Friday will be David Cameron's speech on Europe. Very much long awaited really to see what he's going to say, whether he'll offer a referendum on in-out, unlikely, or whether he'll offer a referendum on bringing back powers from the EU. But that certainly will be a highlight for the end of this week. And as ever, really a consolidatory phase for the markets at the moment, but clients remaining bearish. So that's it for this week. Do give us feedback, media@capitalspreads.com.